Good evening. Welcome to C&T Collectibles. I'm C.
I'm T.
And tonight we're going to go over our top 5 second basemen for the 2021 season. All statistics come from Fangraphs. The analysis is our own, and the only thing that we promise is at the end of the season, the top 5 real players will probably not match our list. So
They might.
They might, but they might not. But hopefully we get a couple of them right. So, anyways, let's get started with our number 5.
Which is Brandon Lowe. We start off our list with Brandon Lowe. Over the previous 2 seasons, he's been a front runner for the Rookie of the Year and in the MVP conversation before tailing off. Very few second base square up on the balls like Lowe, who carries over a 40% hard hit rate and a sustainable home run to fly ball ratio of just over 20% over 3 partial seasons. In 2018, he carried a very high 377 BABIP over a half season, but the effects of that weren't apparent in 2020, as the BABIP dropped to a more human-like 309, but his batting average only dropped to a single point to 269. If he's able to keep the Ks under 30%, his 30 home run power and career 131 weighted runs created over what amounts to little over a full season puts him in our top 5.
You're correct. And just to show I'm unemotional about this, Jose Altuve comes in at number 4. I did think about putting him at number 2 because he's a piece of... Anyway, there was probably a magnifying glass on him, not just to see the tiny fellow, but to keep him honest. And honestly, he was a monster in the playoffs. The K rate, weirdly, wink wink, rose to 18% from the low teens, and the average fell off a cliff because they took away his buzzer, but he was able to hit once upon a time. A 250 BABIP in 2020 was the lowest of his career, while his soft contact remained steady, so he should have some better luck going forward over a full season. He gets the nod over Loud because even without cheating, he's able to control his Ks, but if he's just Whit Merrifield Part 2, this ranking is a little bit too high.
And I like that picture. It's funny.
It is a funny picture. Yeah, he doesn't deserve a nice
With Aaron
stoic.
Judge and
Yeah, I know he doesn't deserve like a nice stoic. Look at Moustakas. He looks all ready to play. Altuve doesn't deserve that right now.
And number 3 is the Moose. I'll take 35 home runs from the middle infield any day. Combine this with the K rate that he's held under 20% for his career and the ability to take a walk and makes all the underrated team. The batting average is expectedly on the low side with all that power, but a 247 BABIP in 2020 is a touch low for Moustakas. So his batting average should be seen positive regression, but of course that's not why we like him. He has a roughly 40 home
percent hard hit rate.
Hard hit, right?
There it is.
While knocking over 17% of his fly balls out of the park. This is a low number for 30-plus home run guys, but this is what he's done for his career. Perhaps the GAB helps a couple additional balls find the seats. He's been an above-average bat for the last 6 years with the rated runs created over 100, and his defense is steady. Before we get to the top 2, let's look at a few guys that were considered and could sneak into the top 5.
Sure, let's do that. Marte was a monster in 2019, but he came back to earth in 2020. A career high 342 BABIP and 19% home run to fly ball rate turned out too good to be true as he saw his average fall 30 points and his home run pace drop by about 20 bombs. 2019 appears to be an outlier, and unless there's a swing change that we don't know about, he could find himself outside even the top 10. Keston Hiura is a first baseman now, though his bat doesn't quite play there, but I wanted him somewhere on my list, so we'll put him here. 2019 was a terrific debut, but under the hood it was too much too fast. A 402 BABIP and a 140 WRC plus proved unsustainable, but 2020's 273 BABIP and 29% hard hit rate are probably light for a hitter like Hiura. Soft contact remains under 20%. Fly ball rate and home run to fly ball ratio are very consistent with what he did in 2019. So if he can cut down on his Ks, and that's a big if, he could become a nice bat at the corner. And finally, the projections sure don't like Kevin Biggio, but maybe I don't like the projections. It all starts with plate discipline, and Biggio swings at just 16% of balls out of the zone. And when he does chase, he makes contact over half the time. In the zone, he makes contact on 85% of his swings. Okay, maybe it's weak contact. His soft contact is just 30% with a 55% medium contact.
13%?
Did I say 15?
No, you said 30.
Oh, 30. Yeah, no, let's try it again. Soft contact is just 13% with 55% medium contact. Thank you very much. So it is definitely not weak contact. He walks 15% of the time because of the great plate discipline, and his Ks dropped from 28 to 23% between 2019 and 2020. Perhaps the Jays' offense will elevate an already solid foundation.
penultimate two-bagger is TJ LeMahieu. Not much to say here. Since coming over to the Yankees in 2019, he's been otherworldly. A 135 weighted runs created in 2019, followed by a 176 weighted runs created in 2020. He may have to return this world at some point. Excellent K and walk rates don't point to major aggression, but the last time he had a BABIP as high as his 370 mark in 2020, he did see his average drop by almost 40 points the following year. His 30-plus home run pace here was aided by a career-high 27 home run fly ball ratio, and his hard hit percentage is below 40. Even though the numbers suggest a player who hits 300 with 20 home runs, there's something in the water in New York, and I wouldn't bet too much against him. And our next player is Ozzie Albies.
Yeah, with that said, I am going to bet against him, and Ozzie Albies is my number 1 second baseman this year. A former 60-grade prospect whose only knock was the worst grade you could get for game power. He's put that to rest, and at just 24 years old, he should hold this spot for the foreseeable future. He was sidelined for half the season in 2020 due to a wrist injury, but managed 30 home runs in a 103 weighted runs created pace in just under 30 games. Of concern is his strikeout rate climbing over 20% in that short sample. But in 2 full seasons prior, he struck out just 16.5% of the time. Like most second basemen not named Moustakas, Albies has a hard hit rate in the high 20s and a home run to fly ball ratio in the teens, but he does put more balls in the air, leading to the higher home run total. He swings at too many balls outside the zone, but makes decent contact of 65% of those swings. Above average defense, and being sandwiched between Acuna and Freeman in a very good Atlanta lineup gives Ozzie the edge in these rankings. So that's what we got. What do you think of the list? Anybody we missed or we should add?
Well, I would like adding at least one Twin in here.
Yeah, well, maybe the Twins should sign a top 5 guy. If we do DHs, Nelson Cruz is up there. I don't know if we're going to get that far.
Oh, we might.
Well, we might have to. If you want a Twin in there, I think that's the direction we're going to have to go.
Or we could have a third baseman. Because we got Donaldson.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Not top 5. In contracts, he would be top 5, but we're going to try and pick the guys that are actually... He's a good player. He's a fine player. Yeah, I just don't know if he's top 5. We'll know next week.
I guess we will.
All right. Appreciate everybody watching, and have a great rest of the night. Thank you.
Bye.